Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, Barakatham. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to Yahakim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Raya with another video. This is just going to be a video to show the signs of the times that we're in the last seconds of these last days, which you Akim should know if you're keeping your eyes in the news and in these scriptures. And with that being the case, the fire should be on your spirit to push this word as hard as you can, because soon we won't be able to put up these video epistles or go out on the highways and byways, and we'll be knee deep in Jacob's trouble, where the only thing that'll be able to save you during those perilous times is to have that covering by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. So you should be making your calling and election sure while you still have the chance to. As Apostle Tahar said, this isn't the time to be getting lackadaisical or wondering whether this is the truth or not. But the article I'll be reading from is on endoftheamericandream.com, and that End of the American Dream is at the door, and it's titled, North America is Rattling. There have been 81 significant earthquakes in Alaska so far in 2019. Something is happening to our planet, and you're damn right something's happening. The Most High is beginning to visit the world in which He made. The mainstream media is not talking much about this, and the experts assure us that everything is going to be just fine. The experts who are going by the knowledge of this world, which is foolishness. The only true experts out there, the men of the Lord, chiefly through GMS, and the brothers that come in the spirit of GMS, giving you this truth, showing you what time it is, that things aren't going to be just fine, that there's about to be a massive death and destruction to cover this entire planet. But the truth is that we have been witnessing an unusual amount of seismic activity all over the world. Up until just recently, most of the shaking has been elsewhere on the globe, and so it has been easy for most Americans to ignore. But now North America is rattling, Salakia. And that isn't going to be so easy to brush aside. The Most High saved the best for last, because this destruction that is going to befall Babylon the Great, which is the biblical name of America, is going to be so epic that it's going to overshadow the destruction that happened to Egypt in the past, and also a new Passover is going to come from this destruction of America. In fact, 2019 has barely even gotten started, and the state of Alaska has already been hit by 81 significant earthquakes. Alaska notoriously experiences a lot of seismic activity, and in the first 9 days of 2019 has been shaken by 81 earthquakes of a magnitude 2.5 or higher, according to the United States Geological Survey. And the 2019 has been deemed the year of the Karagma, the year Esau really pushes for this chip. It's already started off with a bang, not just with 81 earthquakes in the first 9 days of 2019, but all this stuff going on with the U.S. economy and the government shutdown and wars and rumors of wars and what have you. And we know that when that chip is mandatorily implemented, that shortly thereafter, Yahushua is going to return with the chariots and the angels to save the elect. So Yahweh willing, 2019 is the year, but if not, it's very shortly around the corner. Of these 5 have been magnitude 4.5 or higher, with one reaching magnitude 6.1. This huge quake took place 54 kilometers south-southwest of Tananga volcano on January 5th. Is this normal? No, of course it is not normal. And as you can see, these biblical events are happening so frequently that these heathens are even starting to notice and have to comment on it. And the heightened seismic activity that has been taking place all along the Ring of Fire is not normal either. Just ask the people that were devastated by a massive tsunami that just hit Indonesia. We live at a time when major earth changes are taking place, and this has tremendous implications for all of us. Very tremendous implications, especially for 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who want to live as heathens and not hearken back unto the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. For your insolence, you're going to share in the same fate as these heathens with a terrible death. In particular, the hundreds of millions of people that live along the perimeter of the Pacific Ocean need to understand that the Ring of Fire has entered a perilous new phase. If seismic activity continues to escalate, we should soon be talking about major disasters in which millions of people suddenly die. And these disasters are coming to where great numbers of people are going to be taken off the face of the earth. And this brings me to my first precept in 2 Esdras chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, not just by these earthquakes and other natural disasters, but by a nuclear war as well. And the way of truth shall be hidden, the famine of the word, and the land shall be barren of faith. And you can see how barren of faith the land is right now, with all these adulterers and sodomites and weirdos walking around, and especially 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who don't want to acknowledge the fact that you're the children of Israel. You'd rather be anything else but the children of Israel, such as a Christian, a Pan-African, or a Kemetic person. But just you wait. Once these calamities really start befalling you, you're going to be looking for the men of the Lord that were telling you about these things. But the men of the Lord won't be found in those days. Will be hidden. I'm going to go to 2 Esdras chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, which the men of the Lord are doing right now by keeping their eyes in the news and in these scriptures and putting up these video epistles, as well as going on the highways and byways to warn you people of the times to come. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the Highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, such as 81 earthquakes in Alaska in the first 9 days of 2019, as well as earthquakes going on all around the planet, and more popping up in unusual places in the United States, and uproars of the people in the world, which you can clearly see with these people starting to buck up against their governments, as well as these other nations bucking up against the United States. They're not afraid of the United States anymore because they can see the United States is waning in power. That's why they're trying to find ways to do deals around the U.S. dollar and build up their militaries to be able to not only defend themselves against the United States, but attack the United States when the time is right. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, which the Most High has through these scriptures, which the prophets wrote thousands of years ago. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, and the end is manifesting itself right before our eyes. And not just earthquakes happening in diverse places, but you're having major signs in the heavens happen as well, which were said to have happened before the coming of the great and terrible day of the Most High, as it says in Joel chapter 2, verse 30 through 31. And I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of Yahweh will come. And what do we have happening later on this month? A blood moon. And this is from space.com. Blood Moon 2019, and the moon shall be turned into blood. A great total lunar eclipse is coming soon, which is going to cover most of the United States, just going to show that it's about to be a wrap on the United States. It's going to be destroyed from sea to shining sea, being turned into that biblical lake of fire when not only nuclear missiles from these nations around the world hit this place, but the laser beams from the chariots of the Most High are going to hit this place as well. And the only thing America's going to be remembered as is as a memorial to what a wicked rulership looks like and how not to govern the world. More than 3 years have passed since most of North America saw a good total lunar eclipse, so be sure to put a big circle on your calendar for Sunday, January 20th. The viewing circumstances for the eclipse of the full moon that evening will be as good as they can get for much of the United States and Canada. The eastern side of the continent has the best view, but the spectacle of the moon completely immersed in Earth's shadow will be readily visible from coast to coast. The duration of totality will be longer than normal, too, It will last an hour and 2 minutes. So you people out there, you Israelites that understand this truth and are on the fence about coming out to the highways and byways, you don't have much longer to come to a decision. You don't want to be a part of those 2/3 that are going to know that death by pain. Sadly, I am not exaggerating about that one bit, and neither are the prophets of the Lord. I'm going to skip through all this. Come to right here. Anyway, it isn't just Alaska that has been hit by unusual earthquakes lately. Earlier this week, the state of Mississippi was struck by a magnitude 3.7 earthquake. A 3.7 magnitude earthquake was reported in Hollandale, Mississippi around 4:30 p.m. Tuesday. Shaking was felt throughout Washington County. However, according to Emergency Management Division Manager David Burford, there have been no reports of any damage. The ground shook, but not for long. Salakia. The earthquake was at a depth of 5 kilometers, which is very shallow. Earthquakes are not supposed to happen in Mississippi. And last month, Eastern Tennessee was hit by the largest earthquake that it had experienced in 45 years. Was that just another coincidence, or was it part of an overall trend that is emerging? Yeah, it's the trend of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai bringing an end to the current way of things, of these heathenistic ways. Globally, we have seen major earthquakes of at least magnitude 6.0 hit Japan, Brazil, and Indonesia over the last several days. More coincidences. We have entered a period of time when earthquakes are striking in ding, 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 diverse places, and many believe that this is just the beginning. And it is just the beginning of sorrows. So as you can see, brothers, we're getting closer and closer to our salvation. And again, this should just keep your spirit on fire to push this word as hard as you can. What's very beautiful about you pushing this word as hard as you can through these video epistles, as well as going out on the highways and byways, is that you're manifesting this reality to come to pass. Because first and foremost, it's all through the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, but by us preaching his words, he's bringing it to pass that much more quickly. I'm going to go to Psalms 19, verse 1 through 4.